We have new information tonight on the victim of that deadly mid-air explosion. The medical examiner tells NBC10 Jennifer Reardon died of blunt impact trauma to her head, neck, and torso. Reardon was sitting in row 14 of the Southwest Airlines flight when the window next to her broke and she was partially sucked out of the plane. Here's a closer look at that broken window after the plane landed at Philadelphia International Airport. Today, investigators revealed they don't know why it broke, and they still haven't recovered any pieces of that window. Also tonight, the FAA has ordered new inspections on all engine fan blades like the one from that Southwest plane. Investigators believe the mid-air explosion was triggered by a fan blade that snapped off. And now we're learning more about the terror that followed. NBC 10's Aaron Baskerville is live at Philadelphia International Airport with the new details. Aaron.
And Jackie, right now we're outside of the hangar where that Southwest plane is right now at Philadelphia International Airport. As you can see right behind me, there is some cones and caution tape still around that plane. According to some initial reports, from engine failure to touchdown, that took about 22 minutes. I can also tell you today that investigators spent some time interviewing the pilots. I talked to some passengers. Many are still uneasy.
I think you look around a little bit closer where those exit rows are.
One day later, and travelers are still thinking about Southwest Flight 1380. That includes Barbara Eshelman, who admits she had some nerves on her Southwest flight from Dallas to Philadelphia. A deadly mid-air engine failure forced an emergency landing yesterday. What was going through your mind when you were getting on the plane today?
I hope I'm not the next one.
NTSB investigators focused on the left engine today and its fan blades, believing metal fatigue could be a factor. They say the flight from New York to Dallas landed in Philadelphia at 165 knots, around 190 miles an hour. For a 737, that would usually be around 135 knots.
I'm very concerned about this particular event. To be able to extrapolate that to the entire fleet, I'm not willing to do that right now.
Debris from the exterior section of the engine was found scattered today in areas of Berks County. Former NTSB investigator Alan YURMAN described what happened when debris breached the window.
Then you have a condition like you would have if you had a soda can, warm soda can, or a beer can. You know, shake it up and pull the tab, and what's going to happen?
Jillian Isles was on a Southwest flight from Las Vegas and tells NBC 10 now is when you want to fly.
I mean, my first thought was now's the safest time to fly on Southwest because they're definitely watching everything.
A lot of people were echoing those same sentiments, but they also told me that they did go over that safety instruction card inside the plane over and over and over again. As for investigators, I'm told they'll be traveling back to Washington, D.C., and over the next few days, they're going to go over that cockpit voice recorder. For now, we're live at the airport. Aaron Baskerville, NBC 10 News.
And Aaron just mentioned the plane debris that was found in Berks County. Take a look at this. This is a radar image from the National Weather Service. Those two blue lines inside that red circle represent that debris falling from the plane. The NTSB says they used this information to help with their search.
Flight attendants say this tragedy is a reminder about the importance of those safety demonstrations.
So many of us are guilty of ignoring them, right? But as NBC 10's Drew Smith shows us now, paying attention could save your life.
It's something you don't have a chance to see coming.
All the pressurization in the cabin is gone in the blink of an eye.
An engine explodes, shrapnel punctures a window.
They said there was a hole and someone went out.
Robert Huffman, based in Philadelphia, shared his expertise as a flight attendant. He knew former colleagues who were on the Southwest flight, and seeing the passenger video shared online, he right away noticed something. Noses uncovered and masks unstrapped.
Everyone in that row is unfortunately donning the emergency equipment incorrectly.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes.
Anyone who's ever flown commercially knows these videos or FAA-mandated pre-flight safety announcements. Sometimes people snooze through or ignore them, but Huffman says this mid-air emergency shows how vital they are, even if you are an experienced flyer.
As a passenger, you owe it to yourself as your duty to kind of recertify your skills as a passenger.
A passed out or disoriented passenger makes an evacuation more difficult. If an oxygen mask is not properly secured over your nose and mouth, you can begin to feel the effects of lack of oxygen at the altitude this plane was flying in as little as 30 seconds. Drew Smith, NBC 10 News.
And those oxygen masks work up to 40,000 feet and only for a short period of time. That's why the pilot has to quickly get the plane to a safer altitude.